Thank you for being here tonight. Again, my name is Wes Parrish. I'll be tonight's moderator. Mike Benz help will help keep us on time. Beth Hendrickson will monitor the waiting room, Q&A, and chat room. This is an opportunity for these candidates to introduce themselves, their platforms, and plans for office. Thanks to these candidates for their interest in participating in this election as candidates and for joining us tonight. For Kennesaw Council Post 3, we are pleased to have Jonathan Bothers and Donovan Giardina. And if I mispronounce anything, please let me know. I apologize. Each candidate has agreed to address 2 questions or topics. The first question was provided to each candidate in advance to prepare a 3-minute response. The second topic was selected by each candidate to address an important issue of their choice, also with a 3-minute time limit. Candidates, I'll announce when 30 seconds remain on your time. And I'm going to do that just by going ahead and raising my hand. If you get that, you'll then have, after you get to 5 seconds, I'll ask you to stop so that I can introduce the next speaker. I apologize in advance if I talk over you to keep us on time. The first question for all candidates is, what is the biggest challenges you see for your town, short-term and long-term, and how do you propose to address them? We'll then go ahead and switch over to Kennesaw. Jonathan Bothers, would you please go first?
I'm sorry about that. I had my mute on there. Hey, I'm Jonathan Bothers, City of Kennesaw, running for post number 3. Challenges in infrastructure and safety in Kennesaw is one of the things I could think of right offhand there. Kennesaw is growing very, very quickly, and within the growth comes pressure on our roads, sidewalks, intersections. There's too many of our streets are unsafe for pedestrians and cyclists, and traffic congestions impact both residents and local businesses. Solutions for that would be push for targeted investment into walkable, bike-friendly infrastructures and smarter traffic planning. This includes better crosswalks, improving lighting, improving traffic calming measures, and protecting families while keeping cars moving efficiently. One of the ways that we can do that, we talk about, there's a lot of people that talk about in our city is adding traffic, specifically, there's people that talk about speed bumps and speed tables, specifically in downtown Kennesaw. Well, when you look at downtown Kennesaw, I'm not one that believes that this is the right thing for the city. I believe that other things, such as the city has a lot of things, but more signs that say, hey, we need to strictly, speed limits are strictly enforced. We also need to put, one of the suggestions that I've seen in several cities around Metro Atlanta and other things are making our lanes smaller. Each lane is about 12 foot long. The average car is about 9 foot long. If we make those lanes smaller and put a bike lane in, it instantly slows up cars. So adding speed tables and adding speed bumps in the middle of downtown Kennesaw is one of those things that I don't necessarily agree with. I think they're great for other areas around the city. Other problems that we have is small growth in businesses. We face challenges in growing our businesses downtown Kennesaw there. We need to invest more in businesses. We need to put more emphasis on growing our businesses in downtown Kennesaw. We have 50,000, there's 50,000 people enrolled at a university right up the street from us, 1 mile away. I think we need to contact the school, do anything that we can to invest in the university and get more university downtown Kennesaw. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then Donovan Giardina.
Hi, everyone. My name is Donovan Giardina, and I'm also running for Kennesaw City Council Post 3. So to answer the question, the short-term problem that I see in Kennesaw, first and foremost, I see pedestrian safety at the top of that list. As a downtown resident, crossing the roads down here, as my opponent has stated, is very treacherous. Cars are going too fast on our main roads and they need to be slowed down. And we can't always expect KPD to be writing tickets to slow people down. What my proposal is to solve that problem is, in contrast to my opponent, is putting speed tables in downtown. I want to see all of our crosswalks raised to curb height to physically slow down vehicles that would exceed our speed limits. If you've ever walked through downtown, you would know that many of the brick-laid crosswalks are already in dire need of repair, and the city has already allocated money for repairing those. I would like to see that not only be a repair, but an improvement. Additionally, I do agree with my opponent that by narrowing lanes in downtown, it will force traffic to go slower. That's another alternative to the speed tables, but I would go a step further and see the designated turning lanes in downtown removed. That enables cars to swerve around cars that they see stationary in our downtown area, which causes blind spots for pedestrians crossing the street. I just this morning almost got hit by a car walking through downtown, so I want to see that changed. For long term, I want to see smart or new developments come to downtown. We need to work with landowners to develop the undeveloped plots in our downtown area. I've been a volunteer with the Kennesaw Farmers Market for 4 years now. I've helped run that farmers market. I know most of the local vendors who operate within the Kennesaw sphere. Working with landowners to develop those undeveloped lots in such a way to where they would be amenable to storefronts for those types of vendors. I'm talking smoothie vendors, bakeries, even our Georgia local farmers. Making them a more permanent fixture in our downtown area is something that they desperately want. And we've seen through growing participation in our farmers market that the community downtown really needs. So I see that as one way of shifting the focus of our downtown to a more communal aspect. People who buy local, get to know their local providers. That's one of the ways you shift focus away from just some of the fixtures that have been downtown for a very long time. Also, this serves to make Kennesaw more of the destination that we want people to spend time at. So when I talk with some people in downtown, they're saying that they spend their weekends going to downtown Ackworth, downtown Marietta, and downtown Woodstock. My response to that is, why not Kennesaw? But why not Kennesaw is because we have so few offerings downtown in comparison to the other three places that I mentioned. So I would really like to see us start to build those types of developments in our downtown area to attract people to spend their money where they live. Thank you.
Mr. Bothers, you're on mute.
Woo, thank you there. I'm having a great conversation here with myself. Thank
We
you.
do want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. So I love the city of Kennesaw. We've been here for over 20 years. I say over 20 years. I think we've been here for 23 years living here in the city. Purchased the property here with my wife some time ago. And we are here. We moved here for our family and thought it was absolutely wonderful place there. Since we moved here, there's several things that have changed in the city there. We have 3 wonderful parks now. There was no such thing as a Swift Control Park. We have the park destination. Ackworth has lakes and beautiful lakes in the city of Ackworth there. We have parks here that are, and Ackworth have beautiful parks too when you come to think about it there. But you know, we need other things to happen here. We need businesses to grow. My key thing in my election this year is to make sure that we want to make Kennesaw a destination place. Like Donovan said before, in Kennesaw, all the people that I talk to say when they go out, they go to Marietta, they go to Ackworth, they go to Woodstock. We and the college, which is 1 mile away from our city limits, all those people go down to the Battery. Those people go down to Buckhead. What I want to do is make sure that the city grows, make sure that our buildings grow, our businesses grow. And the way to do that is to get involved with the 50,000 enrolled students that are enrolled right down the street a mile away from us. That's one way to do it there. We have to get in contact with them or get involved with them to make them come down and spend time in our city there. But we have to build businesses for them to come down to visit there. We have some great restaurants downtown. But there's really nothing for those kids to come down and do. There's a brewery that's down there, but university don't have all drinkers at it. Everybody's not 21. So we have to have other reasons for them to come down here to the city of Kennesaw. That's the one thing that we need to work on in the city of Kennesaw. And that's the one thing that I want to work on there, both small and home-based business, while attracting new opportunities that will help Kennesaw grow. That's the type of things that I want to do here. Once again, that's my main thing there. And as far as I spoke earlier about the roads and things like that, the reason why I do not like the speed humps and the speed tables and the raised sidewalks, it's emergency reasons. Our chief of police has told me that we don't want that because it stops emergency vehicles. The fire chief in Cobb County, one of the ones that I talked with, said they're not good because it stops the fire trucks from going over there. Now, I've seen cities that have them and the fire trucks go over, but that's a fight that I don't want to fight there. And plus, they're more expensive than just making the lane smaller.
Mr. Bothers, I'm afraid I'm going to have to cut you off.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you very much. Mr. Giardina?
Well, it seems we're all talking a little bit about our background, so I'll start with that. So I moved to Kennesaw about 4 years ago and immediately started getting involved with the city. Me and my fiance have been volunteers with the Kennesaw Downtown Development Authority for about 4 years now. And like I said, the duration of that time, I've been helping run the Kennesaw Farmers Market. My background, I'm almost finished my PhD in criminal justice and criminology, and then my bachelor's degree is in public management and policy. I currently consult for the Northern District of Georgia's Alternative to Incarceration courts that prioritize helping people with substance abuse and mental health needs get the treatment that they need instead of incarceration. So when I say that public safety is at the top of my list of concerns, you can believe me when I say I look at things from multiple different angles. So when I see a downtown that has many undeveloped plots, it kind of looks like a hockey player's teeth almost. You'll see one abandoned building, then you'll see a plot with no building on it, then you'll see one business that attracts a couple people in the mornings, then you'll see businesses that are closed when we have our farmers market on Monday. There's just a disjoint between what the city's trying to do and the reality of what's happening in our downtown. So what I'd like to see, one of our biggest infrastructure improvements that's happened in the past few years is the amphitheater in our downtown in Depot Park. But when they built the amphitheater, they took away downtown's only playground. I would see that playground restored because, to Mr. Bother's point, there are a lot of families in our downtown area. And like I was at our First Friday concert just this last week. And, there were kids running around playing catch while their families were watching the music. Wouldn't that be great if they had a playground right behind where they were playing? I mean, the spot's already paved, it's ready to go. So that's one of the things that I would see. If I could do one thing tomorrow, I would see that playground restored. The next thing that I would see, it's really just, you have to work with the local landowners in downtown. Most of the plots have been owned by the same developers, but have been bogged down for one reason or another. So it's really getting to know these few developers and identifying the reasons in each unique circumstance that's preventing them from going forward with the plans that they've had on the books. Now, like I said, I've volunteered with the Kennesaw Downtown Development Authority for about 4 years now. I attend their meetings regularly. So whenever a new project comes in, I get to hear the pitch before it even goes before council. So it's been really interesting to see the same developers come back year after year, but have made no progress in the groundbreaking. So really identifying those barriers, that way we could start to get some of the local businesses that I've worked with or that we've helped develop through the farmers market into those plots. So that would be my main goal for Kennesaw. is to really develop those types of vendors.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate all of your time. Let's see. Let's see. Do we have any questions? I don't believe we do right now. Let's see if let's see.
Do you have a question for us?
I do not. I'm a big Marietta. I live in the middle of Marietta, actually.
Well, you could ask us unbiased, non-tethered questions.
Fair
You have
enough.
no dog.
There is truth in that.
Well, I have a question.
Okay.
There's a real problem finding venue space. So the amphitheater is a nice thing, but if you're an organization and you're looking for a venue for, I don't know if there's how much interior venue spaces or whether that could be part of a development plan for Kennesaw or Acworth.
Fair enough. Mike brought up a very good point. There's limited venue space in both of your areas, in all of your areas. Have you heard of anything would there be any effort to go ahead and create new venue space, either indoor or outdoor, to help alleviate the stress?
Can I take that one first?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Please
So
do.
the Collier building downtown is now owned by the city of Kennesaw. There have been multiple bids to put in like food vendor type spaces there. Just the offers keep falling through. So it's really identifying for that specific place why nothing seems to be developed. Then on the opposite side, and again, I think this is the one advantage that Kennesaw has hands over Acworth, is that we do have undeveloped plots in our downtown strip, whereas y'all at least have buildings there. So on the one hand, we have a blank canvas, but on the other hand, it requires more investment. So on the other side, there's a plan for a Reformation brewery and then a kitchen. Like they will have food offerings there beyond what some of the other Reformation locations have on the other side of that same square. So on the other side, I believe it's the Whistle Stop building. So in both of those instances, we're starting to develop the type of businesses that bring people in, make Kennesaw a destination, but also foster a sense of community, because these are places that you go, you spend time. In the past few months, we've had where the downtown development of the Kennesaw Barbershop and the Vesuvio Pizzeria. In the back of that, there was an open store space that's now being occupied by a new skate shop, which definitely complements over in Swift Cantrell Park, the skate park that's already there. And the new Lacey development, which is a mixed use apartment and commercial space. We have a vintage clothing store that just opened up in the past month. It's called Stitch Revival. And then we have a hair salon that's going in right next to that. So, venue space was limited, but we are working with developers to make those spaces. And on top of that, the places that have no buildings, like I said, it's very much a blank canvas. So if that's identified as the need, to Mr. Bother's point as well, we do live right down the street from Kennesaw. Many of those students are looking for things to do after our school, but they also need a place to live. So working with our current apartments that are downtown, they're only 30% full, making sure that students have the availability to come in and occupy those spaces. That way they're contributing to Kennesaw's tax base, they're contributing to our local business revenue. They make it seem more full. Right now, Kennesaw is brimming with potential. It's just activating that.
And thank you so very, very much. That Donovan was speaking of some of the empty properties that were downtown Kennesaw there, and he's correct. We have a couple of property owners that owns all those properties downtown. I think it's 3 of them that owns the majority of the properties that have those empty spots down there. We need to work with them. We need to figure out what they need in order to get someone to occupy those spaces. I know Mr. Hughes is working with a lot of people down there. He owns the most, I guess, land in Kennesaw. But we need to work with him. We need to work with his business and figure out what we can do as the city to get those spots occupied there. We have lots of things that have grown up there. We have lots of apartments in the last 4 years. We've added tons of apartments. If I'm correct, it's over 2,000 apartments we added to the Kennesaw area there. Some of those apartments right now, they have the business locations. They built in the commercial space here in the Kennesaw area. And then there's some that were supposed to build per our agreement with the city that they were supposed to build some commercial spaces where we could add more businesses to the Kennesaw area. They, of course, have came back and said after they built the apartments that we can't do it, nobody wants it, and that sort of thing. So one of the things I want to do is to make sure that our developers that come in and build here, that they follow the rules. They do what they say that they're gonna do, but we can have more businesses available. Apartments, when we did the revival downtown, it's the main complex, apartment complex that's downtown Kennesaw. They built it and they built the businesses there, but they had the rental space at such a high rate that no one rented it for 8 years. Those buildings sat there for 8 years. And then as soon as they lowered it to a livable rate there, we got some great businesses to move in. We have Bernie's downtown, but our first business in the revival was Honeysuckle Biscuits. And when they made it affordable, there's been a company there and they've been there, I think, over 10 years. Well, I can't say how long they've been there, but they've been there for a very long time. They're growing their business. It's at an affordable rate there. So we also need to work with the developers and make sure that once we build these commercial buildings, that the lease space is affordable. It's for something. It's something that a business owner wants to lease there. Okay. Once again, we have a lot of businesses opening here. They're building more apartments. There's lots of space to build things there. We have to get developers to want to come here. And there's been all sorts of ideas to have it done there. The most popular idea is to give tax breaks there, but I've learned from the city lawyer that that's not something that we could do. So there's other opportunities to get businesses to come down to Kennesaw. Ackworth, that could be Kimberly, by the way, how you doing? That could be one of the reasons why your businesses are leaving, because the rent is going up, the lease is going up too high, and you can't afford to keep your business in the city. So people move for that reason. But yeah, just wanted to say that the city is growing. We need to invest in our businesses. We need to try to grow our businesses. We want our people to stay right here in Kennesaw and not spend their money other places. We have, like I said before, over 2,000. Give me a second. We have over 2,000 apartments. People are in those apartments. They're not full.
Mr. Bothers?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
You're gonna cut me off. All right.
I am. I'm evil. I apologize.
Oh, it's not a problem at all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for the time that you've spent tonight and for trying to go ahead and present your views. I know that it's been a limited audience, but thank you very much for participating in our first candidate meet and greet. Anything else?
Thank you guys so much there. Everyone for holding this, giving us this opportunity. Thank you, Kim. Nice seeing you. And thank you so much, Donovan. Nice talking to you. Nice having conversation and everything.
Well, I have until 7:45 blocked in my schedule. You want to ask us a few more questions? I mean, honestly, this is all I had going on tonight.